Tennessee travels up to North Carolina to play NC State in Charlotte. This is one of the best games of the weekend. Let's talk about it and give a prediction. NC State had a horrendous game versus Western Carolina to start their season. They had 2 turnovers on downs in the first half. They had an interception and they put the ball on the ground 3 times. Although they didn't lose those 3 fumbles, putting the ball on the ground 3 times in one game is horrendous situational football. And when it comes down to a top 25 matchup like this one, that is a key factor in how I predict these games. So the fact that they had 3 turnovers and then 3 more almost turnovers is very alarming to me. They relied completely on their 3 offensive stars. Grayson McCall, transferred from Coastal Carolina, Kevin Concepcion, and Jordan Waters, a transfer from Duke. Those 3 ended up being out of this world, in my opinion. Grayson McCall had 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kevin Concepcion had 100 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. And Jordan Waters had 100 plus yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Now, is this sustainable for this NC State team? In the ACC, probably so. But versus a top 25 SEC team, I don't necessarily think so. NC State did not run the ball that well. Jordan Waters had a really good game, but they're going to need to establish this run against Tennessee, and I'm going to talk about why in just a minute. Let's talk about Tennessee, though. Tennessee looks so unbelievably explosive off rip. Their sophomore quarterback, who people have been raving about since he got to Tennessee last year, Nico Iamaleava, I think I've got that right. I'll try it again later, but he had an electric game. Tennessee put up 24 points in the first quarter, 314 yards for Nico on 22 of 28 passing and 3 touchdowns. Absolutely incredible stuff for a guy who's only had 1 start in college football. He looked great in the bowl game last year, but to open up the season 69-3 against Chattanooga, it was great to see that. I like when Tennessee looks electric. Last season, when they played Virginia and Joe Milton led that offense, it looked like nothing I've ever seen. The fastest offense I've ever seen in college football. I thought Tennessee might go like 10-2 or 11-1. They did not. But this season, he could be the playmaking difference. Nico, I'm talking about. I definitely think this Tennessee team, like last year, is going to rely on the run, especially early on. They had 304 yards rushing, and that, to me, is what makes this Tennessee team a top 25 team. The fact that they can run and pass at such a dynamic level makes them so unbelievably dangerous. Defenses cannot commit to either stoppage. Like, you can't commit to stopping the run because then Tennessee is going to get the ball to their wide receiving playmakers and they're going to go up and down the field every single drive that they get. And then you can't commit to stopping the pass because they're just going to give the ball to their plethora of backs behind that great offensive line, get it outside the tackle, and just run the ball all over you. So Tennessee's offense is dynamic. Josh Heupel, the head coach, is such an underrated offensive mind in college football. I definitely think he makes this team much more dangerous than they would be with a defensive-minded head coach like a Kevin Steele or something like that. But all that being said, I cannot judge this Tennessee defense just quite yet. Playing Chattanooga and only allowing them to have 3 points, that's great. But I mean, you can't put that on, I don't know, the film. You can't put that on tape and say, oh, wow, look, Tennessee's defense is going to be shut down. They played Chattanooga, okay? But Western Carolina, they did a hell of a job on this NC State defense, and that is very worrisome when it comes to playing against Tennessee, one of the most electric offenses in college football. I don't know if NC State's going to be able to stop them. The one key factor that I will say that NC State has to do to win this game is run the football and run it well. If they can keep that Tennessee defense out on the field and then Tennessee's offense comes out and goes on a 1-minute scoring drive and you put that Tennessee defense right back out there for another 7 or 8 minute drive for NC State, that's going to exhaust them. And later on in the game, NC State will be able to make bigger plays. But all that being said, let's talk about the prediction. I cannot go against a team that just had 700 yards and 8 touchdowns on offense. I got to take that to the bank. Tennessee is going to go up early in this game. They had 24 points in the first quarter last game. I don't know if they'll get that many, but I definitely think they're going to score early and often. I have Tennessee winning this game 38-24. When you go up by a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns in the first half, it forces a team like NC State to pass. And what we didn't see last week was James Pierce get a ton of action. That's one of the best pass rushers in college football for Tennessee, and he is going to have a field day if the Vols can go up early. So, 38-24, that's my score prediction for Tennessee. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode.